I want you to imagine just for a moment that the world has paused its frantic spinning. No deadlines, no buzzing phone, no news crawling across the screen. There is only the hush of your own breath filling and emptying your chest, a soft rhythm. That has been faithfully keeping time since the very first day your heart flickered awake. In that gentle pause, I want to talk to you. Not at you, not past you, but to you. As if we were two friends sitting on a quiet balcony while the evening air cools the city below, because you deserve a space where the whole conversation is about. You being lovable, important, irreplaceable, believe me, you are. Maybe nobody has said it plain enough. Or maybe the words slip through cracks in the noise of living. But you arrived in this life with a worth that can't be bartered for, or measured against anyone else's. It isn't the kind of worth that needs permission slips or performance reviews. It is the quiet glow in the background of every laugh. You've given away every thought you've shared, every bit of kindness you never even tallied, because doing so felt natural. That glow is still there, even if the light feels dimmed right now. I see it, and I'm holding up a mirror so you can start to recognize it, too. Think back to the smallest act of tenderness you've offered another person. Maybe it was as simple as listening without glancing at your watch, or texting someone to ask how their appointment went, or setting aside the bigger slice of cake because you knew they'd been craving it. Those moments are footprints stamped in soft sand, proof that you carry love inside you. A person can only give what they already hold. If love flows from you that effortlessly, love must live within you in equal measure. That makes you lovable by definition, the way sunlight is warm by default. Yet I understand how a heart can start to doubt itself. Sometimes people overlook what should have been cherished. They get busy, or they focus on their own storms, or they never learned how to speak affection into words. Their silence can feel like a verdict, but it isn't. It's merely the echo of their own limitations. Your lovability does not lower itself just because someone else forgot how to reach for it. Picture a vast library locked behind a fogged-up window. The books still exist even if no one is browsing the shelves. So does your worth. There are mornings when the mirror seems to steal instead of reflect, showing you flaws before features, mistakes before miracles. If today happens to be one of those mornings, try this. Breathe in slowly and let your shoulders drop. Notice how your chest lifts and how air cools the back of your throat. That sensation is life insisting once again that you belong here. It is the universe's quiet handshake, renewing the contract between you and existence. No audition required. Your presence is the only ticket stamped and accepted. I won't pretend that self-belief blooms overnight. Doubt can weave itself into a person's thoughts like vines around a lamppost, slowing the climb toward clarity. But vines can be pruned, and lamps can shine again. The first snip is simply acknowledging that your inner critic doesn't hold all the facts. It loves drama and exaggeration, often ignoring the ledger of times you lifted someone's spirits, or finished something hard, or dared to speak up. Remind that critic of these victories, and watch its shoulders slump a little. It has less too. Say when confronted with evidence, picture your life as a patchwork quilt. Some squares are stitched from bright triumphs, others from dark nights, others from the plain beige of routine. Quilts gain their beauty not from flawless squares, but from how every piece, even the frayed ones, joins the others to make a single, warming whole. You are that quilt in motion. Someone reading your pattern from afar might be moved by colors you've barely noticed. A mistake here and there does not tear the fabric of your worth. It only proves that you have lived, tried, stretched, dared. Let's talk about importance, because sometimes that word feels like a lofty podium reserved for people with grand titles or large headlines. In reality, importance often hums in the background, unnoticed until someone points it out. Think of the way a lamp in a hallway guides stumbling feet at night, or how a familiar laugh in a crowded room can untie a knot of anxiety in the chest. You have been that lamp, that laugh, for someone already, perhaps many times. You might never learn the full count, but numbers are overrated anyway. What matters is that another human being kept going, felt seen, or even just smiled, because you existed. The mind loves to compare, scrolls through highlight reels of other people, and sidelines its own backstage struggles. But comparisons blur the truth. You can admire another person's mountain without diminishing the landscape of your own life. In fact, your path cuts through terrain nobody else will navigate in exactly the same way. Your perspective shaped by your singular weave of experiences can illuminate corners of the world that would remain dim without you. Maybe your words will soothe a stranger one day, or your story will unlock courage in a friend, or your voice will fill a silence that needed breaking. These are not trivial possibilities. They are the heartbeats of shared humanity. When loneliness presses its forehead against yours, whispering that you are expendable, remember that connections often begin with simple risks. Send the message even if you fear it might feel awkward. Ask the question, even if the answer might be brief. People are full of shy longing, waiting for someone else to open the door first. By daring to knock, you become a bridge. Bridges are vital. They carry others out of isolation and bring them back again. It makes the builder important by default. Of course, healing doesn't demand constant reach outward. Sometimes the most radical act of self-love is to sit quietly with your own pulse and let the day come to you. Wrap a blanket around your shoulders after it finishes a tumble in the dryer. Watch light crawl across a wall and change the room's temperature. Drink water slowly and notice how it traces a cool path into your middle. These tiny ceremonies anchor you to the moment, reminding your nervous system that security can be simple. You deserve rituals of gentleness, not as a reward for productivity, but as a birthright. Let's pause here and address an illusion. That being lovable or important requires being perfect. Imperfection is not a blemish on your resume. It is the open door through which empathy enters. Notice how your own missteps have granted you patience when other people falter. That kind of patience is priceless. It threads communities together, allowing growth instead of judgment. You carry that gift because you have fallen and risen yourself. Every scar can be a skylight if you choose to frame it that way. You might wonder how to carry these words beyond the page, how to keep them from evaporating when real life barges in with its noise and complications. Try this whenever you catch your thoughts sliding into self-doubt. Anchor them with a small, tangible truth. Touch the edge of your sleeve and recall one moment today when you acted with kindness, even if it was only holding a door open. Feel the steady beat in your wrist, and remember that bodies do not labor so tirelessly for beings unworthy of care. Look at your reflection and pick out a feature you like, a glint in your eye, a curve of your smile, and speak it aloud. Speaking transforms fleeting thoughts into vibrations that linger in the air a breath longer. It's enough for your heart to hear. If a voice inside protests that all this is mere fluff, consider that cynicism is sometimes just disappointment wearing a tough jacket. Underneath it longs for reassurance as much as any tenderness does. You can offer that reassurance to yourself without waiting for the perfect circumstances or the flawless cheerleader. Start small. Offer yourself permission to be learning, evolving, in process. The phrase "good enough" need not be a consolation prize. It can be a foundation. From there, growth has room to bloom instead of suffocate under impossible standards. There will be people who cannot meet you where you are, who fail to reflect the affection you pour out. That is not evidence of unworthiness. It is proof of their limits. You're allowed to set boundaries to protect your peace. Loving others should not come at the cost of abandoning yourself. Healthy boundaries are not walls. They are garden fences, letting sunshine and nourishment in while keeping out what tramples fragile shoots. Guarding your energy lets your best qualities flourish, which in turn lets you offer even more authentic love. I wish I could hand you a cache of letters written by all the lives you have already touched. Each paragraph beginning with "thank you" and ending with "please keep shining." Since those letters are scattered in invisible envelopes, tucked inside memories and feelings you may never see, let this essay stand in for them. I am writing on their behalf as much as my own, telling you that the circle of your influence is wider than the eye can measure. Keep that melody playing. Let it mingle with laughter, with silence, with mistakes that become lessons and successes that become stepping stones. Let it remind you on the hardest days and the gentlest ones that love has always counted you in. And whenever the world forgets to say it out loud, come back to this balcony in your mind where I am always ready to sit beside you and repeat the truth. You matter, deeply and irrevocably, and you are loved more than you know.